Another way organizations and individuals would accidentally invite cyber attacks is through the misconception that cybersecurity is a one-time defense rather than an ongoing process. You can't just install an antivirus and call it a day. Hey everyone, welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the 8 different ways you could be inviting a cybersecurity attack to your home or workplace. Nowadays, cybersecurity has become a huge concern for individuals and organizations alike. As technology advances, so do the methods used by cybercriminals to breach systems and compromise sensitive information. That's why understanding the vulnerabilities that can invite a cybersecurity attack is important for implementing effective defense strategies. And so, in this video, we're going to be diving into 8 key ways individuals and organizations might be unintentionally inviting cybersecurity threats and explore the implications of each. But before we get into that, it's worth mentioning that the most efficient and effective method to deal with cyber threats is to use a reliable antivirus. And that's because most modern antivirus kits nowadays come with web protection features, firewalls, identity theft, protection, and many others. So if you don't already have one or are looking for some suggestions, I'll be leaving some in-depth reviews on antiviruses that I personally recommend in the description down below, along with some discounts. So make sure to check those out. Okay, so one of the less conspicuous yet dangerous ways organizations invite cybersecurity attacks is by overlooking invisible systemic risks. These risks usually stem from interconnected systems and third-party dependencies that may not be that obvious. Organizations must recognize that vulnerabilities in one area can lead to a lot of after effects on the entire system. Neglecting to assess and address these systemic risks leaves an organization vulnerable to attackers that exploit unseen weaknesses. And so, implementing comprehensive risk assessments and adopting a well-rounded approach to cybersecurity is really important to mitigating this threat. Another way organizations and individuals would accidentally invite cyber attacks is through the misconception that cybersecurity is a one-time defense rather than an ongoing process. You can't just install an antivirus and call it a day. Treating cybersecurity as a static, impenetrable shield creates a false sense of security. And that's because cyber threats are dynamic, evolving entities that need continuous monitoring and adaptation. And so, organizations that fail to adopt a proactive dynamic security status are more likely to become targets for persistent and sophisticated attacks. Cybersecurity should be viewed as a continuous process of vigilance, adaptation, and improvement. Now, a critical factor that is often underestimated is the role of organizational culture in cybersecurity. A culture that does not prioritize security awareness and compliance among employees becomes a literal playground for potential threats. That's because employees may accidentally compromise security through actions such as clicking on phishing emails or using weak passwords. And so, working on a cybersecurity conscious culture involves educating employees, fostering a sense of responsibility, and integrating security practices into everyday work routines. Now, before we move on, let's take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark One. Surfshark One is a bundle that includes almost all of your cybersecurity needs, from a reputable antivirus to even an ad blocker. While there isn't one tool that can completely guarantee your privacy, having all of them together in one neat package can greatly enhance your cybersecurity. And that's why Surfshark is offering 5 products in one package. So why pay for them individually when you could get them in one simple, neatly packaged bouquet? This package includes the award-winning Surfshark VPN, which allows unlimited devices, data speed, and protection. The Surfshark antivirus that secures everything on your devices from your webcam to your files. The Surfshark private search engine, which allows you to browse ad-free without any digital footprint. Instant data leak notifications with Surfshark Alert, and Surfshark Alternative ID, which can generate a whole new online identity and proxy email for you. The best part about this is that this bundle comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and all these apps work on all major platforms like Windows, macOS, and Android. So if you'd like to check them out, I'll be leaving the bundle link at the top of the description down below. Big thanks to Surfshark for being today's sponsor, and let's get back to the video. Okay, so when it comes to cybersecurity, accountability is a key factor in establishing an effective defense. A breakdown in accountability, whether due to lax enforcement of policies or a lack of consequences for security breaches, can create an environment where individuals feel less compelled to follow security protocols. This lack of accountability weakens the overall security status of an organization, making it more vulnerable to attacks. And so, establishing clear lines of responsibility, enforcing consequences for security violations, and regularly auditing compliance are key steps to improve accountability in cybersecurity. As for the fifth way, you could be inviting a cybersecurity attack right to your front door that would be throwing money at the problem. While investing in cybersecurity is important, simply throwing money at the issue without a clear strategy can be counterproductive. Blindly purchasing the latest security technologies without understanding the specific needs of an organization can lead to a fragmented and ineffective defense. A more strategic approach involves conducting a thorough risk assessment, identifying specific vulnerabilities, and tailoring cybersecurity investments to address those weaknesses. And so, a well-informed investment strategy would make sure that resources are allocated efficiently and effectively. For number 6, we have the lack of a well-defined risk appetite, which is yet another way organizations may invite cybersecurity attacks. Risk appetite statements are basically an organization's willingness to accept risk to achieve its objectives. When these statements are poorly formulated or not communicated effectively, organizations may accidentally expose themselves to unnecessary risks. And so developing clear risk appetite statements, aligning with the organizational objectives, and communicating them throughout the organization are important steps in establishing an effective cybersecurity framework. For number 7, we have unrealistic social expectations. The integration of social media into both personal and professional spheres introduces a new dimension of vulnerability. Unrealistic expectations of privacy and security on social platforms can lead individuals to share sensitive information without considering the potential risks. That's because cybercriminals usually exploit these platforms to gather information for targeted attacks, which emphasizes the need for individuals to be extremely careful about the information they share online. And so, education and awareness campaigns can help them understand the risks associated with social media and adopt responsible online behaviors. As for the 8th and final way, we have the lack of transparency. Transparency plays an important role in cybersecurity, both at the organizational and individual levels. Organizations that lack transparency in their security practices may accidentally create an environment where vulnerabilities go unnoticed. Open communication about security policies, breaches, and remediation efforts would create trust amongst stakeholders and encourage a collaborative approach to cybersecurity. On an individual level, transparency involves being open about the risks associated with online activities and prompting a culture of open dialogues regarding potential threats. So to sum it up, the ever-evolving nature of cybersecurity threats requires a proactive and well-rounded approach to defense. These 8 different ways we talked about today are all potential pitfalls that can invite cyber attacks. And so, by addressing these vulnerabilities, individuals and organizations can significantly improve their resilience against the evolving threat landscape, which contributes to a more secure digital environment. And that's it for today's video on the different ways you could be inviting a cybersecurity attack to your doorstep. Don't forget that the most efficient and effective way you could protect yourself against these cyber threats would be by using a reliable antivirus software. So if you're looking for some suggestions, I'll be leaving some in-depth reviews on antiviruses that I personally recommend in the description down below, along with some discounts, so make sure to check them out. Also, if you liked the content or found it useful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to see more of it. And if you have any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, as I love to interact with you guys. And that will be all for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.